Great. Well, good morning again. Obviously, I have had the chance to tell you a little bit about the research that I do. And a lot of my research increasingly seems to be connecting housing to children and neighborhoods to children, and really understanding how where children live shapes their opportunities and life chances. I thought that I would pick up a little bit more on something that I didn't get that much time to talk about today, which I think will play in well with and connect well with this panel, which is to talk a little bit more about the question of housing and residential instability, right? You know. And again, I mean, I think that we are seeing increasing income volatility around the United States, particularly among low-income households. That the typical low-income family now has experiences sort of about 5 peaks and troughs in their earnings during a year, which amount to sort of either a gain or a decrease of more than 25% of their income. So the problem, I think we have to sort of, kind of reframe the way we think about the economic challenges that many low-income families face, that it's not just a problem of sort of persistently low incomes, it's also a problem of income volatility, right? And income volatility paired with the very high shares of income that families have to pay for rent, right, is sort of a recipe for disaster, right? And as I said earlier, right, over 700,000, close to 1 million households are sort of faced with an eviction notice every year in the United States. And what does this mean for children, right? Well, there's very good research showing that children who move more often perform worse in school. There's also very good research that shows that involuntary moves, right? Not all moves are necessarily bad, right? But involuntary moves are particularly bad for children, right? And a lot of times those happen in the middle of the year, of the academic year, right? Where kids are then sort of thrown into a classroom where they sort of have to catch up. They're sort of starting out behind. This can also be difficult for peers, right? It's difficult for children, even if a child is not moving, if they're in a classroom where there's lots of mobility, that's shown to be harmful. And I do also want to say that it's not even for the families that aren't necessarily experiencing sort of chronic residential mobility, the anxiety about having to move, and the anxiety and the stress that's caused by worrying about whether or not a family can remain in their home, I think is also a huge problem, right, for families and for children. And I think that's where sort of having a secure, stable, affordable home, right, allows children and parents to spend more of their energies, focused on school and homework. So I think I'll just sort of stop there. I just wanted to kind of give an overview of what the research says about how harmful residential instability can be for children. And actually, let me also just say sort of obviously that sort of I have some doctoral students now that are looking at the impacts of eviction on kids, and that's sort of at the most extreme, right? That's sort of the most harmful and disruptive for children.
Thank you, Dr.